You are listening to And Shit with Quincy Lanier
and Moniece Mitchell-Sims.
Two best friends talking about whatever. Hey, Monie Noni.
Hey. Hey, yellow boy.
Hi.
Hello.
So it's good to hear your voice on this beautiful green earth. Still on this beautiful green earth, I might add.
Wow. Yes, I'm still here.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I guess we're both here, or one of us is speaking from the beyond, but I think we both survived this.
Oh my God.
Week, I guess. Yeah.
It's not even the whole week yet though. So just hold on to that.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're a day behind on this broadcast. Because
Yeah, I apologize for that, people.
No, we're actually a week in a day. Because we skipped last week because we got a little crazy. And then this week, life got a little crazy.
Right.
You know, they say it, and this too shall pass.
Like a kidney stone.
And those motherfuckers are painful. Because trust me, I have passed kidney stones.
Oh my God, have you?
Yes,
I've never done that.
It's like giving birth
Jesus.
to a crusty baby through your penis.
Oh no, is that how it comes out?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes, imagine having a jagged baby come through your urethra.
No. Oh no, I always assumed it came out your boo-boo.
No. I wish it did.
That is horrible. Oh, I feel so bad now. I didn't know that's how it happened.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
That's just for guys though, right? Because women,
no, women too.
Well, I mean, so it would come out of my vajayjay?
Yeah, but it would come out of your urethra, your pee tube.
Oh no!
It's not going to come out of your womb. It's going to come out of that little ass tiny vessel.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I did not know that. Oh, I'm so sorry.
They are painful.
What causes them though?
I guess it's the same, phenomenon that creates like hard water residue.
Oh,
or like
okay.
It's certain, like, in particular, I think it's acids, like eating and drinking foods that create a buildup of acids in your digestive system that causes these, I forget what they are. It's a particular mineral, and these minerals form, they crystallize, and they begin to collect and grow and form stones. So yeah, I think high sodium diets do it, but I think has more to do with like acidity, something like that. Anyway,
oh my God,
that's all I can tell you. They're really fucking painful.
Oh my God, I did not know that.
To me, for men, that's probably the closest that you will ever experience what it may be like for childbirth. That's the closest painful experience that we would be able to compare.
Oh wow.
I mean, I'm telling you, when it's moving, when it's breaking apart and it gets in that tube, like when it just sits in your bladder, you don't feel anything. Sometimes it might cause a little like stomach ache if you get big stones, because some people get big stones, and they have to be surgically removed, or they have to get ultrasounds, and the ultrasounds break up the stones into smaller parts, and then you have to pass them. Right. And that is like, oh my God, it hurts so bad.
Oh God.
Like crying, sweating, panting, on your knees, bowled over on the floor, curled up in fetal position, screaming for dear life.
Yeah, that sounds like childbirth or really bad cramps.
It's different from a cramp.
No, not the ones I had, brother. But, all this talk about kidney stones and cramps is just a metaphor for our lives.
That's it, yeah. a metaphor for our lives.
Oh my God.
I took myself to the doctor because I was feeling really lightheaded.
Uh-huh.
Being that I deal with hypertension, and I've been trying to get it under control.
Right.
And it seems as if in September, when I did my checkup with my new doctor, they said that my blood pressure was fine, that I seemed to have got it handled. And I don't know if I just fell off my... Look, people who say working out is easy and it's fun, it's enjoyable.
They're aliens. That's who those people are.
They're aliens, yeah, because it's not.
No.
Standing in one position, repeating the same thing over and over again for 30 minutes to an hour, or purposefully inflicting physical pain on your body.
Right.
I've never been able to get to the point where it felt wonderful. It never has. Right. And I've gotten to the point where I'm not so like, I don't want to do this. And then I begin to see some results, and that's more motivating, is to see the results. But don't let me fall off the wagon. If I fall off the wagon, it's so difficult to get back on.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, I don't know how they do it. They don't fall off the wagon, or if they do, they hop right back on like some fucking stuntmen. I'm on the ground rolling over in the dirt. The horse is gone. The wagon and the horse has moved on.
Right.
And I'm left in the dirt running behind it trying to get back on. And I think maybe that's what happened, because when I was feeling the lightheadedness and they went and they took my blood pressure, it was really high. So I was like, okay, I know what it is, because it can't be my diet.
Right, because you guys have switched to vegan stuff, right?
We are vegan adjacent. That's what I'm calling it. Vegan adjacent. We live next to being vegan. Because it's easier for me because, I'm allergic to dairy, so I don't do dairy anyway.
Right.
And the only thing that we decided to do was to cut back on animal products, because in September, when I got my checkup and they told me that my blood pressure was great suddenly, they then told me I had fatty blood.
What the hell is fatty blood?
The blood of a fat ass. I got little fat people floating through my bloodstream. You got fatty blood. Basically, it's a high level of unhealthy fats. So, there are your healthy fats, and then there are your unhealthy fats. There are your LDLs and your HDLs. Did I say that right? HDLs, I think LDLs. Low density lipids and high density lipids. I think that's what we're called. So I had too many HDLs, so he told me that I needed to cut back on meat. Now, we're not big meat eaters, but we had gone through a period just recently. See, it's that fucking McDonald's.
Oh, you can't fuck with McDonald's.
We had gone, sometimes we go on these weird binges where we're like up late at night and we're hungry and there's nothing open but McDonald's. And I always make sure that I get a fish, but I get like a double fish fillet. And I think we talked about my double fish fillet addiction.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it got to me. And it might have been a couple of times we had, I think that month, the month of August, before I did my checkup, we did have a higher level of beef products. Like, I don't usually buy beef. It's usually chicken, fish, turkey in the house. Every now and then I'll get ground beef or I get steak. It's so rare that I do that I was like, how the hell do I have? But it could also be oils, cooking oils and different things like that. It's just a million fucking ways you can die, and
right.
Fatty blood is one of them. And I lost weight. I went from 162 pounds to 100. At the time, I think I went down to like 152. So I had lost 10 pounds plus. My blood pressure was down and everything. And it's like, now you got fucking fat blood. The fuck is fat blood? You got buttery blood. Lardy blood. You got lard blood.
You got gravy blood.
You got gravy blood. You got hamburger helper blood. You got fatback blood. So that's why we decided to cut back on my animal protein products, and we began experimenting with vegan options. Because I had never made a commitment to become vegan. My whole thing was, I'm going to limit the amount of meat that I eat less meat, and look for more whole food, vegetable alternatives during the week. And what you learn is there are some great vegan alternatives out there. And they're really freaking good. And if I could convince my husband that this shit was good, then it must be good. He was actually questioning, this is vegan? I don't miss the meat. It's like guilt-free eating. I don't get the itis. I'm telling you, that has been like the biggest benefits, like to be able to eat, feel satiated, and not feel like I want to go and lay down. To like really feel like, oh, I feel alive. I feel energetic. And then my favorite part, girl, is being regular, being real regular. I'm like baby regular now. I'm like, what goes in, something comes out. And it's easy breezy. You get old when you're talking about bowel movements.
Yeah, using words like easy breezy.
Easy breezy, beautiful.
Oh no.
So it's actually been very rewarding on many fronts. I just have to get active.
Right.
And then we'll see, because I am not trying to take the pill.
The pill?
The high blood pressure pill.
Oh.
You thought I was talking about birth control pill?
I wasn't sure, man. I'm like, what?
Moniece, what the hell would I be doing with birth control pill?
Well, people don't just say the pill when they're talking about high blood pressure. They say high blood pressure pill. The only thing that gets like the pill is the pill.
Because my flow has been irregular, so I got to get back on the pill.
I was like, is this something you want to tell me?
Monie, not only have I become vegan, the change was more than just energy.
I'm just saying, you've come out to me before, so...
Even if I came out to you as transgender, I wouldn't need a fucking birth control
I don't know how it works.
You don't suddenly gain the ability to bear children.
You never know. They made advances, medical advances.
No. I like my penis. I just like other people's penises too.
Well, that's a beautiful thing we can agree on. I don't have a penis, but I like them very much.
Exactly. And I have one, and I like them.
Oh my God.
So tell us, what the hell just happened to you?
Oh my God. My computer died. Now, I write a lot.
I know.
And I think I've gone to like 3 Macs. So I just write them out. They just give up the ghost. And so I've been having issues with it for a little while, but that's, Mac has it built in for their products to just stop working. And this was an older one. In fact, I'm recording the podcast now on my first oldest one. I don't even know when we got this one, was 2000 something. But this other Mac I had is the one that I bought from Karima. She sold me her old Mac. I think it was a 2011 or something. So, she had refurbished it, so it was working or whatever, but it was having problems because I couldn't even use the keyboard anymore. I had to plug in an external keyboard and just a bunch of problems. And I have been avoiding upgrading because Mac kept sending me these messages, so you need to upgrade for whatever. And finally, after I got done writing whatever the hell I was writing, because there's so much shit, I said, okay, I can upgrade now because I don't need to. I can have my computer off for a while. It won't bother me. And then I did that, and I went to Vegas with Gina for a quick trip, which is a whole nother conversation. And then I came back. Sunday I was working on it, and it took a long time to boot up, but it did boot up. I was able to do my homework and, other stuff. And then I shut it down because I let my computer rest. And then I got it up on Monday and it just would not come on. It would like try to come on and then stop, try to come on and then stop. And so I, of course, started losing my mind. I'm in the habit of emailing my stuff to myself. So I have stuff that's an email form, you know. So I knew it was there, but just the fact that I couldn't get to some of the other stuff that I hadn't emailed was freaking me out. So Rael, he tried to do what he could do, and eventually he was able to get it to come on in safe mode and all these other little trickery things he was doing. He could tell that the files were there. He said, but I think your hard drive is shot. And I'm like, oh, great. But I can get your files off. So then we had to make a decision like, okay, does he do it his way? Because he's done it before. But there is some type of, it could go horribly wrong.
Right.
So he's done it before.
Trust me,
you've done that.
Happened to us.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, and then he said, well, let me call the Mac store. And he was on the phone with the guy, and the guy was walking him through everything and giving him even more detailed instructions on how to see the files. And then he said, but I suggest you just make an appointment to come in and we'll take them off. And because you upgraded something that made your computer stop working, you won't have to pay for it because it's technically our fault. I'm like, oh, okay. And that was
now that's great. See, I told you.
You told me that, but I was afraid. I was afraid because I'm like, if they say we got to pay for this, I'm screwed. But he said no, because she upgraded the system or whatever. It jacked up her system. And so when he said that, when Rael told me he said that, I kind of figured that this happens a lot. This has happened a lot. And people are calling and complaining about it. So instead of like posting something on the website, they're just going to, you know, if people come in, then they'll fix it. So that's what I'm thinking it is. But the appointment's now till Friday. So now I have to wait until Friday to, you know, work on my stuff. I can use my laptop I'm using now pretty much as a word processor because it's so old. I can't even get online with it. So it's basically a glorified typewriter. Luckily, I'm able to record this because I still have QuickTime Player and stuff, but it really can't do much. But the good news is I haven't been online much today. So it's made me just, you know, focus on writing the stuff that I can write. And but I'm on the other side of it now. But when I was texting you, oh my God, we talked about this, how not giving up is exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had conversations about this. And yesterday was just a day where I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. Forget it. I'm over it. I really was over it. Like if someone had given me a pill and said, here, Moniece, take this pill and everything goes away. Okay. Wait, there's no blood, there's no bullets, and no, it won't be messy. I'm like, really? I could just go to sleep and it'll be okay. Yes, Moniece. No one showed up with that magic pill, but if they had, I was just so
Do
over
I take
it.
this with water or juice?
Yes.
Can I take it on an empty stomach?
Oh my God. I was just so, it just feels like every time I try to take a step and do something, like there's obstacles and, you know, you just get tired of all that, right? I'm just like, how much fighting do I have to do? I mean, really? You mean to tell me? I mean, until I found out that my files were safe, I'm like, all this writing I've been doing all year long is gone? No, that can't be. That can't be. No, it can't be. And then I was like, what the hell? If that's the truth, then what the hell have I been doing all this time? I could have been doing something else if at the end of the year I was going to lose every damn thing.
I'm petrified to this day. And like, we have 3 dead drives right now that we bought those drives as backup drives to literally be safe and dump like personal files and work and videos. There's family photos. There are a lot of heirlooms and things that are really important to us. We converted our physical music collections and got rid of all of our DVDs, and we converted everything into MP3s and put it on this drive because we were like, we don't need it anymore. Nobody has freaking CD players. What do we do with our music? So we just converted everything. We bought this giant house drive that's supposed to be like the hub that we store everything on, and the fucker went dead.
Oh, God.
It's a horrifying experience. I had a little meltdown the other day. I did spoken word at the Pembroke Temporarily Film Festival. And I was looking for, and I haven't done anything in so long, so I was looking for stuff that would be appropriate because it was supposed to be like a young adults program. And so I was trying to go back into my archives, and I realized that a great number of my poetry was not typed because I wrote so much in journals back in the day. I guess I had begun to type up everything and put it in digital form. So I do remember there was a couple of poems that I did have in print form. So I'm assuming that those files are probably on one of these broken drives. And so I kind of panicked because it was some of my favorite pieces, and I was like, I don't have them. And I found like a printout of one of them, but it was only half of the poem. So like page 2 is fucking missing.
Oh, wow.
So I was tearing up the house trying to find where the other page was, and DeAndre's like, what are you doing? But then I realized I hand wrote that poem in a journal. So, I can go back to the journal and just do it again. But then it made me begin to think, like, I have written so much over the years, especially back in the day when I was really doing a lot of writing.
Yeah.
How much of that am I not aware that is possibly inaccessible to me? Right. It's really scary to think that you put so much of your life's work, your artwork or your family photos or whatever, in a media that suddenly fails you. Yeah. But the thing is, look, hey, if it's on paper, your fucking house can burn up. You have a flood.
There's no guarantee either way.
It's just like there's no guarantee.
I have all the poetry I've ever written in my possession. I have a little black, I guess it was my mother's little, like one of those security boxes things, but it was for files. But I took the folders out and it's just empty. And I have notebooks going back to like, I don't know, 6th grade or whatever.
Is it in a fireproof?
No, it is not. It is not that safe. Trust me. But it's right underneath my desk in my bedroom. I see it. It's right there. And I remember I was freaking out because we had our stuff in storage years ago. And
ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, and that box was in there, and I had to make a choice. I could either get my poetry or get my master film of Carmen's Choice in Rain, and I chose my poetry, and we lost the storage. So I don't have, yes, I do not have the masters for Carmen's Choice or Rain. Whoa. I kept them there because it was storage, it was cold, so I knew it would be safe there, but then we lost the storage. And so I don't know where that film is today. Like somebody probably went, like those what you call it, those storage things where they bid on contents or whatever. I just hope someone
throw stuff away.
Yeah, I have no idea. I had to like really come to grips with that. I had the DigiBeta, the big old DigiBeta tapes. I had that still. Because that's what we finalized on to get it to Showtime, but the actual film itself is gone.
But you have the film in DigiBeta form.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you do have a copy of the film.
Yeah, I have a copy of the film. And
you just don't have all your takes and all of the
No, I don't have any of that stuff.
We didn't use in the film.
Yeah, and honestly, even if I still had it, I mean, it had moved all the way from Chicago to here and all types of weather conditions. I wasn't keeping it correctly. So it may not even been, usable for me to see if I was able to get it onto some reel-to-reel to check it out. It probably would have been damaged anyway, but I was holding on to it because it was like my master film. But I'm glad I still made the choice for my poetry because that's stuff that I have. I've been writing poetry since I was 7, and I remember I found it. My mom keeps everything, so I found it one day in one of her little cabinets, and I was like, oh wow, I forgot I wrote this, and to see my little handwriting, when I'm 10. I wrote much better when I was 10. But to read, the poetry back then and to see how I have, progressed over the years, and I swear to God, like between the ages of, 20, around the time when you met me. So what was I, 22 to 20?
45.
Around that time, in my 20s, my early 20s, Lord Jesus. Talk about you thinking somebody's going to commit suicide. The stuff I was writing about then, I was like, God, Lord, the 20s were rough.
I know. They were rough as hell.
They were rough as hell. I mean, based on those writings, you would think that, Jesus, how did I survive at all? And now I look at my poetry and I don't write nearly as much. Like maybe if I'm lucky, 3 poems a year, you know,
because you got happy.
I guess happy.
You know what?
Happiness is not good for poets.
Happiness is not good for poetry. No, love and happiness is not good for poetry. We need gloom and doom and depression.
Yeah.
And like that's when we wrote.
Yeah.
When our lives were at risk every day on the subway riding through Chicago, you know.
Right, when our hearts were broken and we didn't
when
know
it was fucking cold and 40 below zero. And we're out in fucking sunny California. Yes, the weather's nice. It's beautiful. The bougainvillea is growing all up the hill. We're married. We're artists.
Yeah,
we're happy bitches. We're happy. And then suddenly you can't write.
Yeah, not poetry. And that's right, because the only time I write poems is when I get in a fight with Rael now.
See?
That's the only time it comes out, you know?
I don't even do that anymore. When I'm mad at DeAndre, I just drink. But there is a poem at the bottom of a bottle, I'm sure.
Oh my
I was
God.
trying to get to it. I just never did.
Yeah, well, you know, it's, no, but it was dope seeing you read. It was really good. It reminded me of back in the day. I was like, oh, look at Quincy. Look at him.
I felt so incredibly nervous.
Oh, well, because you hadn't done it in a while?
Because I hadn't done it in a while, but there were still some 11-year-olds and some little kids running around the room.
Okay.
And I don't want to be up in it screaming, motherfucker! And that's when I was going through all my poetry, going like, dang, oh, this is dark. And then they had a lot of rappers and musical performances. I'm literally about to get up there and read.
Well, see, that's why I think we stopped doing poetry when we came here, because it was not about the spoken word. It was like a show, right? People,
right.
You always had like somebody singing or somebody playing a guitar, and then they would stick you in the middle of all this, and you'd be odd person out, and they're like, okay, so we just got to sit here and listen to you read, right? And like,
and here comes introducing the buzzkill poet of the night, Monie Mitchell-Sims.
Right, because we would be talking about some deep shit, you know, and they'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get a drink now. I'm like, what?
Right.
Why is everybody walking around? I'm doing my poetry.
But speaking of like being on stage, plug.
Yeah.
Monday, November 12th, I have been asked to perform at Rant and Rave again.
Great.
Rant and Rave is a night of storytelling. So they bring in all of these writers, playwrights to perform these pieces that are all about a particular subject. So they voted on the prompt, the last Rant and Rave, and the prompt is potato.
I love it.
I was like, potato? So I have to write a story that has something to do with potatoes. Next Monday, November 12th, Rant and Rave. So you can go to the roguemachinetheater.com, and they release all of the performances on their podcast. Rant and Rave podcast on iTunes.
Oh, cool.
You guys, somebody come out and see me. I'll be talking about potatoes.
Hi.
So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Cool.
Fun. But it did make me think doing the poetry. I was like, we keep saying that we're going to do poetry on this podcast. Why haven't we?
I don't know, because we're making this shit up as we go, and we don't really plan.
Well, what you got for me?
What, right now?
Yes.
Shit, I got nothing. You gonna put me on the spot like that?
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Verge.
That's bullshit.
And I want to bring to the mic This writer that I met when I was 17 years old, and she was bald head. And she looked like Arrested Development, the group. Not that her development was arrested. She looked like the group.
Wow.
Miss Monie Mitchell, now Sims. Woo! Woo!
Oh, okay. All right. So that's how you gonna do me, huh?
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna do you.
All right, fine. All right. I ain't scared. I ain't scared.
I ain't scared. I ain't never scared.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this poem.
Okay, you gotta act like you on stage. You gotta talk to the audience.
All right. How y'all doing?
Woo! What's up?
Hey.
Woo!
Okay, it's been a minute, so I hope y'all enjoy this. I wrote this poem. I don't even remember how long ago, but anyway, here it is. I want to be a good poem for you, a poem you thumb through again and again, want to be written on, crinkle up paper, like the tiny yellow notebook kind you keep in your left shirt pocket next to your heart, with a chewed up looking black big pen, want to be read again and again by you under low lights in mocha-scented coffee houses, smoke-filled bars, distinguished museums, during open mics, want to be liked again and again, requested every time you step to the stage and you open your wonderful mouth to engage the syllables to bring me your good poem to life. Want to be handwritten, not typed. A good poem for you. A good poem on you at all times, not hidden away in a neat plastic laminated binder, but always with you. So much so that the paper I'm living on molds instinctively to your touch, folds lovingly along edge creases, and finds peace, sweet peace, in your passionate gaze.
Woo! Yes! Woo! That was hot. That was badass. Girl, yes. That was good. What was that called? What was that called?
A good poem?
Oh, I love it. I love it. That was a good poem. That was a good poem. All right, where's my introduction?
Okay, hold on. And bringing to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a yellow boy with a bright smile and lots of thoughts. Quincy Lanier Fields, Fields, he got so many names now. Just call him Q.
Thank you, Monie. Thank you. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
How you doing? How you doing? Take your time.
I'm good.
Take your time.
So, I think I'm gonna read this piece, and it's called "Without Toll."
All right.
I am the blackmail bridge, the good kind, a species rare, palatable to your white-coated tongues, a condiment of contradictions, masking the pungency of flavor because we all taste like chicken. We are all ignorant, we are all criminals, but you are different under agreeable conditions. I am the unwilling, unskilled interpreter of slang, rap music, soul food, Chris Tucker and Chris Rock, depository of language, foreign culture and subculture, amusing yet aberrant, reference for your misinterpretation, evidence for your ignorance. You people. I am the mole, the black infiltrator, stealthy, light skin, tone, mild, identifiably familiar, without alarm, exploiter and exploited, trader and traded, sellout and sold out. Are you mixed? You're not that black. Now we have much in common. Now we are alien. I am the black male who achieves, the camel, the horse, the ox, the ass I carry on my back, bent, disjointed, always the ridden, never the jockey. Rocking my ears, spurring my ribs, driven forward. When you rich, you gonna take care of us, right? Don't forget where you came from. I am the straight-acting gay male, the Republican type, socially androgynous without high heels and sassy lisp, unrecognizable, elusive to your dichotomy, both and or, if and but, rainbows are too bright, show tunes too campy. Why, I would have never known. I am the turnstile for the homophobe. Tickets to your fears, back and forth on the other side, traveling with a red glowing sign. Emergency exit this way across to the down low. Back to your wives and back to your children. A pit stop never made between you and I. I'm not really gay, just curious. I am a crooked road to an unmentionable part of town, seen and not heard, out of sight, out of mind, masculine enough to pretend into your straight pearly gates, an abomination loved, a mistake denied in your self-righteous prayers, in my father's and my grandmother's. I don't care. I love you just the same, just don't. I am the black male gay bridge to everywhere and nowhere, everyone and no one, connecting worlds belonging to none. And all I do without toll to repair the damages made.
Woo! Woo! Sexual topic! Sexual topic! And shit! Be sure to listen next week to And Shit with Q and Monie.
You can follow Quincy Lanier on Instagram and Twitter at Q Lanier.
And you can follow Moniece at Moniece Mitchell Sims on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Be sure to subscribe to And Shit.